is going on, guys? It is your boy Seso here, bringing us a Photoshop tutorial here today. Bringing us a cool simplistic video here again. Yes, I know you guys love this series. One of my favorite series as well, just like showing you guys really simple. It's kind of like my way of, I call it like simplistic banner design, but all it really is showing you guys different ways to use color corrections. I don't know if you guys noticed that yet, but that's pretty much what it is. But yeah, that's regardless, but it's cool, right? Whatever. You guys love the series. I love it as well. So today we're going to be doing a cool little grunge style like texture design. Literally, I just read this here, just so I didn't forget, but I don't know what the video is going to be titled. You know, I don't know. It looks dope though. I don't know. I put like indie grunge theme here. I don't know. It just looks really dope. It looks really unique, very stylish, right? It's kind of like dulled color, not so vibrant. So yeah, I did kind of like a little theme for you guys. Don't forget, guys, to likes on the video because they secret down below. So yeah, pretty much. Also, just because I know no one's gonna like look into like deep in the video if I say the font name. So this is actually called Devil Breeze. Devil Breeze, and this one is called Big Noodle Tilting. Yeah, Big Noodle Tilting. Just so you guys know now, and you don't bug me later. All right. So we're going to be doing this. It's going to be in a specific order. The color correction is actually going to be in like gradient map, vibrance, brightness and contrast, and exposure. So yeah, we're going to show you how to do this really cool little theme here. And the picture that I'm actually using, this is what it looks like without the little color correction here. Pretty big difference, as you can see. It looks pretty damn sick. Just using like a mountain picture. I just literally typed in awesome landscapes, as you can kind of see, awesome landscapes. And I got this little landscape and it looks pretty gosh darn sick. So alright, to get started, like I said, we're going to be doing the gradient map and all that cool stuff, like the color correction, and then we'll move on to actually showing you guys how to do this little simple, it's literally just a drop shadow within a circle, and then like these other lips like strokes in black and white. So that's pretty much the theme of the banner. It looks really dope and sick, and it's very simple and fast to do. So let me show you guys right here, right now. Let's get started. So when you have your picture set, however, I would say, suggest that do more mountain. Although, like most of my simplistic videos have like mountains in them and stuff like that. Not too much water though, just because you want mountains, you want color, you want like a lot of color. However, we're gonna be like dulling the color out. It would just look so much better if you guys got a picture something that resembles kind of color like this. You got green and brown, pretty much, right? The mountains. It looks pretty sick. So that's why I say when you're picking your picture out. And make sure it's, or like, of course, 4K. If you guys don't know, when you Google search, you go to like more tools, size, and I search always for larger than 4 megapixels. And I literally typed in awesome landscapes. And that's what it's set to, just so you guys know where I got my picture. So, all right, so we're gonna go ahead and start with the gradient map, right? All right, we're gonna click on this little thing right here, right? And we're gonna have two little knobs right here. We're gonna change the first knob to a red. I have a hex code for this. It's gonna be 7E1818. And this is my go-to like null, or not really null, like not monochromatic either, but like a nice little not vibrant red. That's what we're looking for, because if you have a vibrant red, it doesn't really look too good. So I'm gonna go with the 7E1818. Oops, 7E1818. And for the second little knob here, we're just gonna keep this. We're just gonna put on solid black. We'll just move it just a little bit up, not too far. So like 080808. It's pretty good little hex code there. So press OK. And that's pretty much your gradient map. We're going to throw this on either, not overlay, I would say soft light. And we're just going to lower opacity down to about maybe 30%. And this will really come to life like afterwards. More or less, when you actually finish like the whole entire color correction, the whole entire design, you'll probably go back to this drop shadow and try to fiddle with this. I would say, I'm just going to say this now, when you're actually finished with the design, because I'm probably not going to remember now, but when you finish with the design, and you go back to this little red knob here, and you just flip through the colors of these, you can kind of see what the hint's doing with the color correction here already. But this will actually, whatever your picture like goes for, my red works with this, but maybe you're gonna have to fiddle with these little colors here just to see which one works for you best. Anyway, we're gonna go on to the vibrance now. So we're just gonna go to vibrance here, and these are all your adjustments layers that are found in this little half circle thing. Also, if you just go to image adjustments, however, this is like too tedious for me, and for some reason I can't click on this here. I think these are more for like actually just doing it on one layer. So otherwise, just use this little half circle down here. So vibrance right here, and we're just gonna set this to 70 and the saturation to -50. What this is gonna do is gonna pull out the color a little bit. Also kind of make it almost nearly black and white. But what we're gonna do after this is the brightness and contrast, and look really, really good. So like I said, brightness and contrast is up next. Brightness and contrast, we're gonna put the brightness up to about negative, or not up, down to -90, and the contrast up to about 45. And what this is going to really do is kind of pull out that color more. Even though it's null, I just kind of like how this looks, right? It just looks like the color is dulled out, but it's still there and it wants to be seen. So with this, I'm going to put an exposure after this, And for the exposure, all I'm really looking for is like get rid of these really deep blacks and kind of make everything look like one flat image and not like, you know, depth. I don't actually want to see depth. If you want to see depth, that's all up with you, but I honestly suggest using exposure. And for the settings for this, I'm just going to change this to, the offset was going to change, but the exposure just stays 0, 0, 0. For the offset, we're just going to put 0.0130, and for the gamma correction, we're just going to put 0.95. And I'm just going to lower my opacity down to 50, because this is like too much. This almost looks like a coat like over the entire picture. I'm just going to put this on about 50 opacity. And for me, I think that's a good medium just to get rid of all these, like it just looks weird to me, like this little black stuff. Really, it's just the depth and the shadow of the picture, but there's so much like black, I really don't like it, so I kind of like having like one flat image of just like, it looks like it's just one flat image now. So, pretty much after this, it's all just doing like the cool little grungy kind of style to it. I wouldn't really call it grunge too much, however, what it really is just like actually like almost like particles and stuff like that. So to actually do this, all I actually did was make a new layer, fill it with any color, which is all backspace. It doesn't really matter what color it is. Really nice yellow, by the way. I don't know. I figured this out, and it just looks really good. I will use it somewhere, somehow. But anyway, we're just going to go ahead and just put this blend mode to dissolve. And what this will do is actually when you lower your opacity down from 100 to 0, you can start seeing that it actually is dissolving the flat color, which is just, you know, just like a flat whatever. It's just color, basically. And you can find yourself actually, I don't know, like I wouldn't go anywhere above 5. But, you know, 1 is like too much, no, or too little for me. Like 2 is good, but then 3 is like, and then 4 is like, I don't know. So it really all depends on what you guys want to do. Like I said, 1 to 5 opacity on dissolve will get you that cool little grungy kind of feel, or kind of like particles. And to actually make it overlay, I'm going to put this on overlay. I kind of want to still see the picture, not just be covered with dots. To do this, it's a little trick, because if you try to obviously put this on overlay, it's just going to be an overlaid white, you know, sheet of paper now. It's not going to actually have a dissolve on it. So to actually like trick the little, I guess trick Photoshop in a little way, or trick the layers, is just make a quick new layer right here, or Control-Shift-N, and hold Control, select both the layers just like so, and then either right click, merge layers, or just go ahead and press Control-E on your keyboard, and now basically it is now said, or kind of like a new layer, but actually only having like the little dots here. So pretty cool. It's kind of like having, whatchamacallit, it's like a, like noise really. Yeah, it's kind of pretty much what it is. But just like making your own little noise texture. So you can put this on overlay now, and there we go. I have like little like white little stuff hat. Oh, actually, before I do that, I want to make sure these are white. So put that color overlay on. Make sure they are pure white, and I'll rasterize the layer. And now I'll just make it on overlay, and there we go. All right, sweet. It looks really good. So I'm gonna put the text in now. We're just gonna call this simple, and we're gonna use Devil Breeze. It's a very old font. I used to use this like hella back in the day. Like sometime, like most of you guys won't even know who I was back then. I used to use it a lot. Now I don't really like it too much, but kind of for this theme, it kind of works out. But for this, I'll put it there, and we'll just go ahead and just put in you are all freaking cool. All right, and we'll just go ahead and put this on the big noodle tilting because it's cool. And we're just going to go ahead and change the color to this nice little yellow. And there we go. Now we got a little text and subtext. Alright, sweet. So now what's going to be doing, I'm just going to be filling out the banner design. So I'm going to add a circle. The way I'm going to do this is actually using not the elliptical marquee tool. I'm going to be using the actual ellipse tool. And pretty much it's going to set me off with just actually being able to use the fill and stroke feature. So pretty much I'm just going to move this near the middle. That's why I have these little rulers here. If by any chance you don't know how to use rulers, Control R is to bring them up. As you can see up here, if I press it and press it again, it toggles it on and off. It's also located in your Windows, or excuse me, view rulers here. So you can do it that way as well. And to actually put them on, I'm actually in a simple little Twitter header dimension. I always do my videos in Twitter header dimensions just because I'm comfortable with it and I like it the most. It doesn't really matter, but pretty much it's 1500 by 500 pixels, and it is at 200 resolution. However, if you're doing just web media, okay, web media like resolution, 72 is good enough. So if it's at 72, that's perfectly fine. But anything for like print and stuff like that, 300 resolution is your go-to. I have it on 200 resolution just because it makes it feel better. So that's all I have it on. So anyway, regardless, the whole thing you're going to do it wise, you're going to be in like a new little document here. You just take the ruler, just click somewhere on the gray, and then move your mouse over. and you'll find the middle just by like hovering over where you think is the middle. So I think like right here is the middle. So I'm gonna hover over it, and you can see that your mouse will just like snap on to where the middle is, right there. As you can see, it makes just like that. It snaps on. Same thing for the bottom one or the horizontal one. It just like snaps, and that's basically how I do it. And that's what helps me just basically like, I don't know, make a nice little circle, make sure it's in the middle and spaced right, because most designers will figure it out if it's spaced right or not. Anyway, to go about this, I'm just gonna lower the fill down to 0, and we're gonna double click on this ellipse, and we're gonna put it on drop shadow, like this little drop shadow here, and we're gonna turn off use global light. We're gonna put our angle to 90 degrees. And we're going to go ahead and put the distance up a little bit, and then we're going to lower the size down, not too much, because the size, what it's doing is like the blurriness to it. I want it to actually still have like that circle without actually having too much blur. So like 3 is pretty good. Also the distance, how is that distance? What if we just put this up now? Because I kind of want to have like this peeling up, you know, kind of like that little look to it. I like that. Okay, I'm down for that. Alright, so pretty much I actually get the little rings now. The reason why I made you use this tool is if you want to press Control J to duplicate this layer, I'm going to use Control T. I'll put this up really quickly. I'm going to use Control T for the free transform. I'm going to hold Alt and Shift. That way when I click on this little one of the corners and I just move it up, it'll be perfectly in the middle for me. And the reason why I told you to use this this little ellipse tool is because if you click on the layer and you click back on the tool, it will give you the options up here to actually change it. So if you're familiar with like Illustrator and stuff like that, it has fill and stroke. Photoshop actually uses fill or foreground and background, which is just like choosing between 2 different colors. But in Illustrator and stuff like that, you have the choice to actually turn on a fill, which is like the shape itself. Or when I turn this little fill off, you're just clicking on this little X button up here. When I turn the stroke on, just like click on this little X here and then put white. I'll just select white. You can see it's actually just a nice little stroke, and it's going to be like perfect quality no matter what, if you like, make it bigger or smaller, because it's a rasterized shape or a vector. And so pretty much we're going to go ahead and I'm going to shrink this a little bit and also make the stroke just a little bit bigger as well. So like 6, that'll look good. And to make it a little black and white, if it's already white, like I said already, also turn off this little drop shadow if you made a duplicate of it, or if you made a new layer, that's whatever. But if you just use a duplicate of this one, which I did, make sure you turn your effects off. And pretty much, I'm going to go ahead and just put this on normal and change it to hue. That way it's actually black and white. And I'm going to do this one more time. So I'm going to Control J once again. And I'm just going to change this to normal really quickly so I can see it. And I'm going to make it pretty big as well just one more time. And then we're going to change the stroke size to maybe about 30. That's way too much. 15. Oops. 15, enter. There we go. I'm down. So put this on hue. And now we kind of have like that cool little look to it. We have like 2 little black and whites going on here. And if I want to set this off just a little bit, maybe I'll use a soft brush with a white foreground color, which is like clicking on this little, the first box is a foreground color. Make it white. Be in my keyboard for the brush quick shortcut, and then right click, and then make sure I'm selecting the soft brush here. And then if you can't see your brush, just press cap lock, that's why. And pretty much click on the top, just like so. Lower the opacity down maybe about 30%. I don't know if you guys like the very super vibrant one. I just go for it. I really don't care really. But 35, I'll go for 35. And then also what I'll do is I'll put the brightness and contrast again. We'll see what happens if I just kind of like bring out a little bit more, not too much. I don't want to like ruin the theme going on here. Maybe I'll just lower this down like 30. And if you guys didn't notice at all, but in the example one I showed you guys, it had like a nice little blue tint on it. And actually the way I did that was I just went to the little adjustments layer. I went to curves here. I changed my RGB to blue only, so I'm just only changing blue. And I'm going to take this right point here, drag it down with the second little line here. And for the left point, we're just going to drag this up maybe about to like halfway between the first one here. I'm just going to figure it out here. So the right one, I'm actually going to put it to about, I don't know, maybe like a quarter of the way to the third one. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lower my opacity down to about 40. And it kind of has like this little blue tint. If you guys like it or not, I'm turning it on and off right now. You guys can see the blue tint. It looks really good in my opinion. And this is what I was talking about. At the end of the design, you're saying like, I don't know if I like this is something I don't like about the color correction. It's probably going to be in your gradient map. And if you guys ever want, you guys can add more to the color correction. But for me, this is how I want it. But like I said, this red, if I change this around, if you want to see it, Now you can kind of see like what it's going on about. Like you can see little green highlights more. If you kind of like, I don't know, for me, like any of these things work. Once you're like finished with the design, it's just like what you want preferably. And for me, I wanted the red at the end of this video, so that's what I'm gonna go with. So, but you can just move through these here. If you just kind of like want a little bit of like a hint of like some kind of different color in the color correction, do it with your gradient map. I think it'll work best. And pretty much that is the end of the video. So pretty much like the only really thing you're gonna really worry about is, I don't know, like beats me, like, or you can just, I don't know, put more like little whatchamacallits, like little grungy things to it, like little dissolve things I did. Or if you really want, like, I don't know, maybe let's just try something really quickly. I really shouldn't be doing this just because I always like ruin it. But we're just gonna test something like I'm gonna use the ellipse tool. This is like this is not according to plan, guys. Just so you know, I'm just testing something out. What if I actually did that little effect that I did like previously in one of the other ones? The other like whatchamacallits, like simplistic videos. I don't know, maybe like something like that. I'm just gonna right click, select the inverse, and I'm just gonna fill this in with a black or white. That's fine. Control D to deselect, Control H to unhide my rulers. And I'm gonna go ahead and put this on zero fill. Double click on this. I'm gonna put it on inner shadow. And we're gonna see what this looks like. I don't know, just something more you can do. Let me toss that up a little bit. I don't really know. And then what I was gonna do is actually rasterize and then like erase the edges a little bit, see what it looked like. Kind of looks like, I don't know, like a little I don't know, fold coming in, something like that. I don't know. You guys can really test and just do whatever the heck you guys want to do. Whatever. That's mostly all I want to really show you was that cool little color correction, that little cool like grunge theme to it. You guys can do this if you guys want. Like I wasn't really feeling it at first. Maybe on the top. I don't know, just something like to do. But either way, if you guys want to do that, you could. Regardless, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to check out my my Twitter. Well, follow me on Twitter at SesoHQ. Don't forget to check out my Sellfy, sellfy.com/SesoHQ for any premiums and packs as low as $5. I'm going to be doing a massive update. It's going to be so freaking sick. Hopefully next week. No matter what, it's going to be out before the first on the first of the new month or whatever. What is today's date? The 19th. So most likely in a week or so, you'll find like I can't really tell you because it ruined. But mostly it's gonna be like a really cool revamp to a lot of things in my store. Certain things gonna be put into a package, so it's like nice and cheap and stuff like that. And of course, the everything pack users are gonna be like loving it. So if you made it to the end of the video, you're most likely possibly a more percentage of you guys watching to the end of the video is going to be like a everything pack supporter or something like that, or a supporter of me. So if you're interested in like getting everything in my Sellfy store for free after like it comes out and stuff like that, for one purchase of $30, of course, you get everything in my store for that one $30 package. And of course, anything that comes out on my store, which I'm telling you now, there's going to be more, like a lot of stuff next week or so. I'm going to actually have like more products and just get those emailed to you for free. So it's like kind of like saving you money in the long run. It's like already like $100, like $150 like value. So think about that. Thank you guys so much for watching regardless, and we're almost close to 45k 54k. And so yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Talk to you guys later. Seso out. Peace.